I do not know how well this is coming through, but let's see how it is. Whoever's watching, can you please tell me that my voice is coming through at a good rate? Test, 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 test. Test, 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 test. Testes. Testes 133, 133. What about the guitar levels? Anyone? Hello, hello, hello. Since I do not have my headphones on, I cannot hear how good the audio is coming out, if it is coming out good at all. Guess I'll just throw the headphones on here and see for sure. Since I only see one person watching, let's check what my stream is doing. And air silence. Alright, now after checking the live stream, everything seems to be going right. And I'm reading anyone's comments in the live chat here in the actual stream studio. So we will go back to taking the headphones off. And hopefully some of you out there will actually be watching finally. So my messy hair here from having the headphones on. Do 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 do. So I'm just streaming over the OBS 24.0.3 64-bit version, and again I'm recording the audio into the newer NW5200, going through XLR into input 1 on my Behringer Euphoria UMD 404 HD, and again playing my relict modified Gibson SGJ that was previously owned by one of the Knucksuff guitars, and I'm playing it through my 2x12 behind me and with a amp. Let me update the title. All right, so the live stream title is now changed. And let's see, we have one person watching. I don't know why there isn't more than one person watching and no one is chatting. I can only assume that the one person watching is a fan. do 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 do. Hey, Brian. Finally actually get someone active in the chat. So, hey. Thank you. Yeah. You know, this is basically like what I do. Like, people are like, well, you don't do very much, blah, 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 blah. Well, you know, that's how you learn to play guitar is, you know, experimenting with fingering certain ways on the guitar and then like strumming it or playing certain chords, learning to put it all together. And you know, it's amazing how many people, you know, are clueless to like that. And like I said, it's such a shame that people, you know, are scared to put stuff up on YouTube, but it is what it is, and the trolls are the trolls, and you know, unfortunately, we can only do so much for that. But you know, if people don't put stuff up, you know, kind of sick today, got a migraine, so gingerly thing is good today. Well, Brian, that I'm sorry to hear that. And yes, I was saying in my part of Ontario here in Canada, I can't remember where you're from offhand because I have very bad short-term memory unless I talk to people a lot. Then I can remember details about them. But the weather here in my part of Ontario is crappy and cloudy, so it could be a pressure system related thing. I'm not sure if you get pressure headaches. If not, could be the change of the season. Okay, then Brian. Yeah, Brantford. Yeah, that's. I can't remember. I have a friend there in Brantford. It's either Brantford or Bradford. Hi, Tammy. Wow. Getting some more watching. Yay! Only like another like 150 and I'll be Steve from Boston. Or the Tone King. Or maybe even Ben Coombs himself. Or Combs. Coombs. However you pronounce it. So, yeah, I mean, it's, the weather today is pretty crappy. My day today was started off kind of cruddy because when I woke up, I was like, I come out here to my computer and I'm saying to myself, yeah, Brian, yeah, that one. I think that's actually where my one friend is that I talked to. When I got up this morning, I noticed that the fan wasn't on, and I thought maybe I'd gotten up in the middle of the night and turned it off or something. And I come up here and I go to look at my computer keyboard and that, and everything's off. So apparently earlier this morning, Hydro One's redirect into my region, I guess, had some type of problem, and we lost power for like probably about a good hour and 45 minutes. And that's like, okay, yay, power's back on, and I can finally eat. And then unfortunately my internet connection got screwed up somehow in the process, and I was out without my cable connection until about 1 this afternoon. And in the process, there's something over my shoulder that I got that I was hopefully was going to do a surprise kind of unveil, since it can't be an unboxing because it isn't in a box. But something I got earlier this morning, and I've been just playing around with and seeing how it is, and it's been pretty impressive so far. Very shocked with how good it's actually turned out. Just checking my messages here. So far, Tammy and Brian. I figured I'd also jump on and stream right now. Yeah, Virginia. I figured I'd jump on and stream because there's not too many people that stream in this Thursday afternoon bracket. Given the way my mom's passing back on the 16th, and my current situation with that, actually buried my mom finally yesterday morning, and it was kind of crappy weather out for a burial, but we had a small service, and those that actually have me on Facebook actually seen my posting it, but it went well, and in a little bit of kind of celebration of my mom's life, we actually went out for fish and chips in a little fish and chip place in Aurelia, Ontario, and it ended up being a English style fish and chips place that actually has a chain in the Toronto area somewhere, and it's all been family owned and family ran since I'd say, I think it was 1962. I guess they must have immigrated from England and opened up fish and chip businesses. So we had fish and chips. I had their special, which was this humongously long piece of haddock that was like about, I'd say it was, I'd swear, close to like 9 inches in length. It was at least it's because I'm sitting a little bit back further. I just turned it up better. Can you hear me a bit better now, Tammy? I'm also trying not to blare the mic because of the my 2x12 behind me. Not to mention, I don't want to. I don't want to be necessarily also having the mic in the view. So thank you, Jim. I appreciate that. I've been very appreciative to the many folks in the YouTube community, as well as those people that I know on Facebook that have give my condolences. Given me condolences on my mom's passing. But in light of that unfortunate thing, she's in a better place now. In light of that, I'm hoping to maybe try to stream a little bit more. Like, I was hoping to do that before, but the last, I guess, like 4 or 5 months, it has really kind of been hard for me to do because I've been dealing with my mom, taking care of her and that. But now that I don't have to do that, I am now freed up to maybe do some streams. I probably am not the most perfect at doing these. I'm not the most comedic. Some people think I'm funny. Some people don't. Some people think I'm funny looking. To each their own. But yeah, I mean, there's been a lacking of streams during the daytimes. I know there's a lot of people that are off during the day, or people that are in Europe. So I really thought, well, maybe it'd be cool to do some streaming to add some different variety compared to most of the people that I stream for, or that I mod for. And yeah, like you said, Brian, practice makes perfect. Instead of me recording playing around on the guitar, make it a live stream. Because I know that's the one thing I have actually gotten a lot of messages and comments about, has been about how did you ring the bell? Maybe you can fill me in on what that term means, ring the bell. Tammy. Yeah, I've gotten messages over the last little while from people about how my giving a more positive message online to people, like people on YouTube here that seem in the side chat moderating, about just doing it. And that's really what it comes down to, is, you know, no matter how Robert Baker or Steve from Boston or any of those other guys, talented that you are, or as crappy as you are, you know, just put it out there. Do it to have fun. Don't do it to allow people to totally put down what you're doing and such. Just have fun doing it. Don't put too much emphasis on it. That's the word I was looking for. Sorry, mumbling again. Yes. For this being an SGJ, I kind of like it, but I have to admit, after having an SG special, the SG special is a bit nicer. You can feel there is a bit of a difference. Nice thing with this, though, I will say, is it is lighter. You feel a little bit less in the body thickness of it, but at the same time, there's nothing wrong with it, and especially with these, hey, Cowtown Customs. Nice seeing you. I gotta keep remembering that I think there's about a 3 to 10 second delay going on here from my OBS. So, yeah, these pickups I was saying that are in these 61s are actually a really nice pickup. That's probably been the most impressive thing of all about this guitar is these 61s, and I have to admit, if I was looking at probably getting any type of Gibson new, I would be probably I'd probably looking to get a set of the 61s in it. So that probably covered. I'm not a big fan of the open coil much. And thank you very much, Tammy. Be cool to see some content from you some of these days. Cowtown Customs. This is originally, as you can tell by the 120th anniversary marker here. Ooh, we're getting some kind of microphonic thing going on here. It's the 2014 SGJ that I got from Richie. That's part of Canucks with Guitars, or that was hanging around with Ben there as part of Canucks with Guitars. And he had modified it slightly himself. And when he got it, somebody had actually already modified it and put the pick guard on it. So I've just kind of messed around and just kind of tarnished it up and tried to thin it out a bit. As well as I've done the kind of not so evasive relicking on the guitar, simulated buckle rash. Unfortunately, and here you can see the maple neck of it. These XXJ series guitars that Gibson did put out, they had maple necks with mahogany bodies. And unfortunately, when I was taking this apart, it's still got a bent tuner down here. This tuner's bent. But on this whole side, you can see where that crack is. When I took the tuners off and I was trying to re-clear the headstock, you can see it's all shiny. Oh, okay. When I re-cleared the headstock, ended up discovering that one point on this. Let me try to get back in the shot. You can see it right here on this piece here, because these are 3-piece headstocks. 3 pieces of wood go to make them. It's split all the way down, and I actually had to, you can see my kind of half-arsed job doing it. Surprisingly enough, what I used to actually seal it back into place was actually Gorilla Glue. But also at the same time in the process, you can see it a bit there. You can see where I mashed in the side holding it in place. And it didn't do it so badly over on this side, but still playable. And not as nice as having an actual SG standard that maybe one day I would like to get. But it's nice, and I think they're great deals if you can pick them up on the used market, because you can get them for $300 to $400. But again, only remember to get the ones that have the 120th anniversary here on the 12th fret. Those are the only ones worth getting. The 2013s of these SGJs and LPJs were terrible. They were terribly put together. And terribly put together, and the finishes on them weren't exactly that great. So if you can find the 14s at a good price, they're great if you just keep them stock. Or again, if you want to mod them up to have a relic kind of worn look, great for that too, instead of roughing up a $1,200 one. Punchy tone, yeah. Well, the 61 pickups that are in here are Alnico 5 pickups. Hey, Blackjack. Yes, I got my internet back going at around 1 o'clock, and I decided to actually do a live stream for a change. Since there isn't too many people doing them in the afternoon. So, welcome. And hope your day at work's going well. You're not clipping yourself or people too much at your job. Snip, 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 snip. Yeah. So to get back to what Tammy had said, no, I went and actually had fish and chips at a place in a place called, actually, let me just look at it here on my phone. The place was called Duckworth's Fish and Chips. They have one restaurant based in okay, thanks, Blackjack. They have one restaurant based in Aurelia, Ontario. I believe their other restaurant is based in Scarborough, Ontario, which is near the Toronto area, or as I like to refer to, the GTA, Greater Toronto Area. And like I said, it's I believe it was it's a company, a family that came over from England in 1962 and opened up an English-style fish and chips shop. And on their menu, they have even, like, if I wanted to, I could have had mushy peas. All right, Brian knows what I'm talking about. Yes, that, like I said, I had the house special, which was the piece of halibut. Like I said, I swear it was like 3 inches wide by about 9 inches long and about 2 inches thick. Nice, light, crispy coating. Yeah. Nice, light, crispy coating. Fresh cut fries, though I wish they would have been a little bit more crisper. They were still fresh so even when they're fresh and they're slightly undercooked, it's not a really big complaint in regards to that. Also came with a nice little ramekin of coleslaw, a nice nicely cut crunchy cabbage coleslaw with not too much mayonnaise, not too much vinegar in it. And on top of that, you got a pop and a fairly decent size of buttered bread with it. So I thought maybe I was going to want to have 2 pieces of fish. And I was like, after eating all that and with the pop, it was just like, yeah, I was full and I was done. There was no way I had any room for any type of dessert, even though most of the dessert stuff was deep fried Mars bars and stuff along those lines. Which is like, I'm a fan of a Mars bar, but really the reality is it's my age, my weight, can't really I really got to start watching that, which is one of the things that I also had looked into. I just thought he went to fish and chips. Oh, no, Tammy, they don't have anything like that at that restaurant there. I don't think they do at the one Brian visited around Scarborough or whatever. Let's see, Jim Grew. English style fish and chips are hard to come by where I live. Yes, that is very, very true. It is hard. And a true traditional English style. See, it's just like most foods out there. You have the wannabes. So it's like just like Chinese food is actually is American in basis and not necessarily even Chinese, which I thought was kind of funny to find out. So yeah, let's see what else here. Just going through the chat. So yeah, Cowtowns. If you're still there and you didn't hear me, it's a 2014, which are all the ones that you should be looking to get. And hello to Mr. Haskell, Angus Young. Well, I'm definitely not Angus, but I can do some of the licks. I can do some of the AC/DC stuff. So, with 9 watching, would people like to know why I did actually start this stream in the first place for? Anyone? Anyone? Someone out there has to wonder why. Yes, Jim, exactly. Mexican food. In the meantime, while I'm waiting for some yeses as the video playback catches the people and gets caught up in the chat, we will tinker around. Sorry, I couldn't do that, Eddie. Yeah, I guess I don't have to worry about Will being in here and not liking Kiss and that. So, original Arthur Treacher's Fish and Chips is nearby Columbus, Ohio. Interesting. Cowtown, before I continue on here, didn't you sometime back say you want to actually send me a shirt? By the way, thank you again to Ike at Flipside Music and various other folks who have been nice enough to send me a shirt. They've all been very comfortable shirts, and you know, I'm glad to wear them anytime I stream or do videos. You know, just as a simple thank you back to you know, for sending me a shirt. You just don't have to, but anything is nice. Pretty cool. Never heard of them. Okay, as well. So, anyways, Cowtown Customs, you said you want to send me a shirt. If you still would like to do so, you can drop me a line. Not necessarily Instagram, but you can get me now at Terry's gg&g at gmail.com. I have now set up an actual email address so that I can have people contact me in regards to my channel specifically. So, all lowercase, all together, TERRYS GGNG, all lowercase, all together, at gmail.com. Beyond that, so if people have been watching since the beginning and hearing, you've been hearing me playing, just plucking around and strumming and such. And you've probably seen over my shoulder here. Oh, I kind of revealed it a little bit already. But if you thought that I was playing this through the Joyo that you can see here under my left hand, no, I actually have not been playing it. I haven't been playing it through the Joyo. So earlier today, I managed to pick up for 175 Canadian what I've been playing through since the beginning of the stream, amp wise. So, with that said, I will now move away and move my arm to show you what I have been playing through since the beginning of the stream, which is now going on an hour. Wow. So, for 175 Canadian, I have picked up and I have been playing through a orange Micro Dark, and I've been playing it through the Harley Benton 2x12. So, all original tube. The only problem with what I had gotten, how I got it, was the guy included the power block, but he didn't include the plug, the power cable to go into the block. Do I know Freebird? Can't say I do, Tammy. Sorry. So, luckily enough, I had a 3-prong power plug, which is what you usually put into the back of computer power supplies and such. So, I got it, and you can't see it that well, but I will actually try to bring the webcam here closer. so you can have a little bit of a better view. And you can actually see there actually is a slight difference in the actual size between the micro dark and the Joyo. Like, we're talking probably about an inch overall. So let me set the webcam back down here. You can see my messy walls and whatnot. Brian, I did get the Joyo. I can't remember if it was, I don't think it was a month. I think it was maybe 2 months ago or so. So that's what if I remember correctly, it was 2 months ago. So it's been pretty cool. Speaking of which, this point in time can turn it off because it can have given away the secret that I've been playing through the orange. And so yeah, as Jim was just asking me here, I was playing around with this for about 20 minutes, strumming and picking some chords, and first off, the biggest difference is the gain. And the gain is truly humongous in this thing. Like, I am blown away with how much gain it has on tap. And the guy I bought it from, he said that he has blown people away with how much output this actually has. And I can honestly say the Joyo Bantamp Blue Jay did push the Harley Benton 2x12 fairly decently. Gave a lot of volume. But this orange micro dark, oh my god. The guy said that he played with a drummer. And once I put it through the 2x12 here, which is 8 ohm, it was like, wow. And the funny thing is, both of these are the same thing. They're 12 AX7 preamp tube and a solid state power amp section. And they're both supposed to be 20 watts. But the power amp section and whatnot in the micro dark is just like so much different. It's like, it really makes it sound like a tube amp. Brian Bond, yes I do. It's sitting over there in my rack of instruments. So people are probably saying, well, Taming Them would like to hear something. And so far, in regards, finishing up, instead of going around all over the place here, finishing up what I was saying between the two, I think there's a very good chance that I package the Joyo back up and sell it back to somebody in Europe who can use it with the proper power cord. I'm really liking what the micro dark does. I got to keep looking back because I keep on thinking micro dark, micro terror. It's such a mix up in the names and that. But one of the things that somebody had said about these micro darks was that they don't have a very good clean sound to them. And it's like I said, it's news to me because since I've had it on and since I've been just strumming around on the SG through it, it's just like, it's got a really nice clean sound to it, like chimey. You wouldn't think that from a metal amp. A chimey kind of... I'm playing like regular chords. Brian, what are you saying? That you need to get you one of these micro darks, or do you mean the TE52s? The Harley Benton TE52s. They're relatively hard to get a hold of. You'd have to check their site constantly to get your hands on one, because I think sometimes I've seen them backlogged to like 4 and 6 weeks before they've became available. So getting back to the actual Micro Terror, or the Micro Dark, sorry, Micro Terror has no effects loop. That's the one thing I haven't actually tested with this Micro Dark yet, is the effects loop. Both of these have effects loops, which is kind of the cool thing. Except as far as I know, the one in the Micro Dark is actually buffered. So that'll be interesting to see how effects sound through it. At one point in time, I will probably do a comparison video between the two just to show things more. For now, we will say that in regards to the gain structure and the volume, we're probably around the 9 o'clock position. Now, as I said, with the state of how this amp is, and I know how sensitive this mic is, it's going to get hairy here when I start showing you the volume level in that of this Micro Dark amp. That's what I said. It's like, I was just like, oh my god. So, not going to touch the gain at all. I'm just going to play around a little bit and just turn the volume up every once in a while so that you can hear how much volume it's actually pushing through the 2x12. So, we'll start at the original position, the 9, the shape / tone stacks in the middle, that way it's a balanced sound, and we'll just go from there. So again, random playing, random chords. am clean. Now we'll start cranking the gain. Oh, you don't know Leonard Skinner, their song Freebird. No, Tammy, I am not that versed in Leonard Skinner's Freebird, sorry. Or Stairway to Heaven. So now we'll start playing with the gain here. That's about the best I can do for Skinnerd for you, Tammy. Sorry. But the 1 or 2 o'clock position. Clock position, you see a large jump in the gain. And lastly, full out. Alright. That's killed my ears enough. Yes, Jim, that's what I said, and that's only at like the 9 o'clock position. When you start putting it up, I actually dialed both the gain and the volume to max, and it was just like, it made me wish that I would have grabbed my earplugs. Made me wish that I would have grabbed my earplugs and actually put them in. Cowtown, I believe it is. I also have it enabled if you go to my channel info, like my about section on my channel. I have it enabled in there to my email address. So, yeah, well, like I was saying, Jim, it is, the Micro Dark is based on the Dark Terror, and it is, you know, that is the amp of such players as Jim Root of Slipknot and various other bands. So there's a lot of gain there, but it's kind of, I think they said it's a 4-stage gain, and if I remember correctly, China Guitar Skeptic Mike even said he has both. I think he has both the full-sized versions of those amps, and I believe he said, like, the regular Tiny Terror has, like, 2 gain stages, whereas the Dark Terror has about, I think he said, 3 or 4, and you can see that when I was turning the volume up. Yeah. Thanks for stopping by, Tammy. Nice seeing you as well, too. And you can see how, like, when you put it around noon, you get kind of a nice, decent kind of crunch sound. But as soon as you push it to, like, that 1 o'clock mark, it starts hitting the heavier gain. And then especially when you hit the 3 o'clock mark on the gain, it's like it just pushes it into, like a, like I said, a very metally kind of area. Again, I still haven't done anything with the effects loop. I haven't done anything with my single coil guitars yet, so that'll be interesting as well. Yeah, take care, Tammy. Tammy. I think it's getting near time for me to have lunch. It is, after all, 3. I ate late this morning, so. That said, so that's basically, I guess I will wrap it up for now. Thank you for the 10 of yous viewing. Whoever's you may be, friendly or foe, fan or stalker. Thanks for watching the stream. Thanks for watching the reveal. And, you know, keep with the positives. Try to flush out the negative in life. You know, we only live here once. We need to make the best of it that we can. And going around being overly dramatic and making people's lives crap is not one of them. As well as we don't need them we don't need it in our own lives. So that said, again, take care, everyone. Hope it is nice and warmer weather where you are. And I will moderate yous later. Bye for now.